Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of F-Zero Ending It All. Last time, Tinsel Steel has managed to save Rick Wheeler from Dark Million's thrall, and he is no longer working for the enemy. Instead, he is permanently working for the Mobile Task Force, which, ironically, has about 2 members left, including him and Tinsel. And they just found out that Jack Levin is in the next race in Aeropolis, specifically the Dragon Slopes. So without further delay, let's get on with the show. Alright, lap 8. Rick has reunited with Tinsel and is no longer a part of Dark Million. They go on a salvage mission to save both Jack and Lucy. Will the captors have the same fate in the next 2 courses? On their way to the Dragon Slopes, Rick told Tinsel of Jack being the Death Reaper for Michael Chain, a masked assassin whose mission was to destroy other gangs so the Bloody Chain would be the most dominant in Mute City, and later the whole universe. However, he saw his best friend deal with his past during that street race on an unfinished bridge. It ended in a draw, and Rick was able to distract Baba. As the two were fighting it out, they both held on to the unstable infrastructure. Thankfully, he and Jody were there to save his life while Michael Chain was taken in. I hope this time it's for good, Rick. Man, am I getting tired of this guy. And as you can see, there's a flashback scene of Tinsel involving her assault on the Bloody Chain when they met Truman. If you guys remember the anime in episode 7, Michael Chain's Trap, then you would know who Truman is. But there's a little twist to this. For you see, since it was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Crossover, you would see this in Cold as Ice, in the fic Cold as Ice. Tinsel actually used her new dual disc with Karibo and Multiply, which was an idea I got from the filler episode of the virtual world in which Kaiba was imprisoned in. Very nice filler, I gotta say. So, she stood up to Michael Chain and Truman. She used Karibo to blow up the wild boars. I don't feel like reading this, but just read it yourself if you want, and it's also part of Cold as Ice, which is a one-shot. Bang, bang, boom! So, reinforcements arrived. And if you also remember the anime episode involving Michael Chain and Jack Levin as the Death Reaper, then there's a little twist to that. Michael escaped from prison wanting the Death Reaper to return. Fortunately, Jack realized what was most important for having friends in the task force and dealing with their troubled past together, just like Rick and Tinsel. He thought that Jack could have a similar fashion since he was the Death Reaper. Don't worry, 3 against 1 on Aeropolis? I'm sure the odds are in our favor. You must never underestimate your enemies, Tinsel. It's highly unlikely that the gang had ties with Dark Million. That was before Baba. Mike escaped from prison and he was on the hunt for Jack. And under the right conditions, he can be a very aggressive contender. Before they got to their destination, Tinsel was looking over the schematics on the Astro Robin in order to familiarize herself with the enemy. According to Clank, Jack's contraption had a high acceleration and amazing handling, decent body strength, but pretty slow. I actually came up with this nickname known as the Hovering Tortoise. So slow. Of course, Rick had a point on not misjudging her opponent, and being he's always a cocky pilot who isn't afraid to take any risks, they were in for quite a challenge. I think I might leave Jack to you, Rick. You seem to know him better than us. The Astro Robin could be too much if not for your Dragon Bird. I'll do my best. Just make sure you and Leon stay sharp. Gotcha. Eventually, the duo reached the Serpentine Circuit, although it was hard to find, resulting them to have some delays, and they had only minutes to prepare themselves before the race. They hadn't seen Jack nor the Astro Robin, though Leon and his Space Angler were already waiting within the starting line. I thought you two would never show up. Sorry we're a little tardy to the party, Leon. Took us a while to find this place. Looking around then to the pilots, Leon commented, "This must be some new stuff to ya." They both nodded, although Tinsel had some slight experience at the multiplex during the Ruby League. She took all three of them after her missions with Falcon were done. Unfortunately, though she gave her best, she wasn't skilled enough to participate in the legendary Diamond Cup. Didn't bother her too much, though. This one has some guardrails This one has some guardrails lacking, so prepare yourselves. What's your strategy? Rick suggested that Tinsel and Leon should deal with the rival racers while he goes on the lookout for Jack. He figured he'll have a better chance since his dragon bird is strong enough if the Robin should get reckless. Not to mention the awesome speed, which would allow him to catch up easily, as well as its grip. The machine may be slow, but Jack is often a deceiver. He's certain he'll cause a lot of chaos, though he's nervous he could get ahead of himself and fall off. The trio were, however, a bit relieved as Jack would be the only main enemy thus far. They had to be extra cautious since they noticed the Robin is further in front, while the others were in the midsection. As Rick saw it, some repressed memory came back to him. He was at Black Shadow's base, gazing at Jack's craft with Miss Killer close to his side. The tank hadn't released his best friend rival yet, though he did see the makeover that he and his machine had. Jack had his right eye covered by red. Basically, he looks just like the Death Reaper, but a small, slight twist to his design. And the and the Astro Robin had a makeover, which is kind of similar to the flashes at Lightning. Robin. Wait, what was that? He faced him with an anxious expression. Jack Levin had the same makeover I had, both to himself and his machine. I remembered it being called the Reaping Robin. No doubt they're using this reference to him being the Death Reaper. Jack may really be out for blood. His boost stat may have increased as well. But how would Dark Million know all this? Baba must have known. He probably got the word out to Black Shadow during that duel. This was before he was wiped out in that Big Blue race, remember? Oh yeah. Good thing we have our own personal informant. All pilots, return to your vehicles. The race will begin very shortly. I repeat, all pilots, return to your vehicles. Well, I guess we better skedaddle. I hope you know what you're doing, Rick. We cannot lose him. He didn't feel so confident, and he's not the type of person making a plan either. He hoped his own judgment wouldn't fail him. If anything should happen to Jack, he'd never forgive himself. Sensing his angst, the coyote whimpered. It's 3 against 1. Don't let your concerns get in your way. We could win this and get Jack back. Godspeed to both of you. Tinsel and Leon did a high five, and they hurried to their cruisers. Rick was more sluggish as his mind was clouding with uncertainty. It was known as the Dragon Slopes because of the incredibly sharp curves, followed by the speed plates before the numerous ledges pilots can grasp. There were 3 layers, top, middle, and bottom. The lowest layer was the fastest of them all, and they must be widely aware of the missing guardrails along the way. At times, the course was wide, then narrow, then it expanded and shrunk on inopportune moments, and those lanes contained several speed-ups, causing Rick, Tinsel, and Leon to use extreme caution and not lose Jack to the 30,000-foot drop. They must not be distracted by the endless hordes of crafts buzzing above the course, not even the highway covered in a translucent bridge overhead. There were a couple of pit areas, though they were attached to the sides of the track. Thankfully, there were some walls, but where there was ice and dirt was definitely the worst part. Nevertheless, it didn't make Jack falter. He went on a killing spree, wiping out any pilot he saw. His speed may have enhanced, but his maneuvering and devastating defense made him a wrecking machine. Under Black Shadow's control, he was deadly. Some pilots were knocked off course thanks to the Reaping Robin, though they used their ejection seats and parachutes before their cars became space dust. The rumors were true. He was working for Dark Million. Death Reaper's name implied. The big bad wanted to use him to eliminate all competitors that stood between him and his domineering victory. He's gonna kill all the pilots! Not, not if I can help it. That's Black Shadow, all right. He's so hell-bent on winning and exterminating the competition. We have to stop him. I'll take the lead and put an end to this. You two can finish the race. Don't let him spot you. Be careful, Rick. He just saw him demolish another one, only this one crashed into a distant skyscraper which regenerated in a matter of seconds. Despite the outstanding spectacle, he still had a job to do. He banged into the robin's tail just to give him some attention. Wheeler, you want a piece of me, Jack? After what you did to those pilots? Easy, Ricky. I was just following orders from Black Shadow is all. You should join him too, you know, as our friends are waiting for you, especially your girlfriend. He tried to intimidate him, but Rick was just steaming up. No way, Jack. I've been down this road before. I'm never going back. Won't let you destroy every pilot on the circuit. You're just as insane as Zoda is. His face grew sour at the realization that Rick was betraying his old friend and both associations. Then allow me to vanquish you instead. See you later, filthy traitor! He was indeed a pushover as he attempted to force Rick off the edge. The dragon bird just barely hung in there as it was losing its footing. Fortunately, in mere seconds, it gained some ground which caused it to wobble, as well as getting a speed boost. From the rear, Leon and Tinsel saw the melee continue. It's Jack! I gotta stop him! Being she was the fastest in disobeying Rick's orders, Tinsel caught up and kept ramming into him, but her comet was weak, so as she was forced away, Rick stepped in, and she boosted past the clashing elites. Jack went on the pursuit, not allowing her nor Rick to win, but Leon was just catching up. Don't worry about her, Rick. I got him in my sights. Space Angler hammered into him, but he was also too light. Lastly was Rick, who gave it everything his machine could muster, and Jack fell down the course where there wasn't a guardrail. Talk about karma. He just sank like a stone since it was heavier than the others. Ah! One down! Oh no! Jack! Rick immediately stopped on the track, scared that his perished pal might have fallen from the slopes. He wanted his comrades to win the race while he checks on him. Go to him! Don't forget the syringe! He met him at the wreckage in a lower portion, but the rocker was unconscious. Paramedics arrived when the race ended. Rick gave them Dr. Stewart's formula. The syringe. Did Tinsel give this to you? Then this must belong to Rodney. We'll take him in right away. Rick only watched as they loaded in Jack on a stretcher and towed away the Robin. At Rodney's hospital, he eventually came to. He immediately saw Tinsel and recognized her from the last race. Hey, what were you doing wrecking my machine? Ow. His arm gave way. He was in multiple bandages and the injured limb was in a sling. Take it easy, man. You just got out of the wreckage. Although he seemed to be back to his normal, egotistical self again. By the way, the Space Angler won while I came in second. Leon, Rick, and I wanted to make sure you didn't get into any more trouble. Trouble? What kind of trouble? About what happened, Jack. You really don't remember anything? Not really. Wheeler! They did a manly hug as they reunited. I thought I'd never see that bugger again. It's great to see you too, as your energetic, overconfident, and hot-headed old self. Hot-headed? Well, you're one to talk trying to destroy me. Rick, however, was more serious. She was about to make a rebuttal until he asked what he could remember these last several weeks. Jack recalled there was something sharp on the back of his neck. Before that, he said he was meeting some very sexy ladies. They gave him a stern look. Aside from that, I can't seem to remember very much, other than looking for your sorry hide, Wheeler. By the way, where were you anyway? Wait till Jody hears about this. She has turned over Jack. She's with Black Shadow. So are the others. We only found you so far. They're still in Dark Star. What? How could that be? I could only recollect ourselves being ambushed by those thugs. Thanks to you and Rick, the rumors have turned out to be true. First Rick, then Jack. She was certain Dark Million won't be holding back. Still, we're glad to have you at our side, Jack. Will you race with us? Sure thing, Ricky. I'll get out of these casts in no time. All right, we could sure use your help. See you later. Before she walked away, he grabbed her lightly by the arm. Tinsel? We seem to be bonding, aren't we, mate? Only professionally. That doesn't mean you're going to get all mushy on me, are ya? Course not. Yep, Jack was back. Rick and Tinsel headed back to their machines. They were so drained as they both took a deep sigh on a nearby park bench. 1 down, 6 more to go. She mentally counted the remaining missing members. They both knew that from this race onward, the task force won't show any mercy. Rick was right. Clank informed the duo that the Astro Robin might have just a paint job. He'll return it to Team Lightning Bolt where it'll be as good as new, though it'll cost him. Luckily, Leon would pay for it thanks to some of his earnings. This was actually his first ever victory. Tinsel couldn't be more proud of that pooch. While Jack was healing, Rick and Tinsel met an unexpected guest. He was around 15 feet tall, skinny, and was an alien with scaly skin. Well, basically it's the Commissioner, but you'll only see him a few times in the anime. Rick Wheeler? Yeah, that's me. I've realized you hadn't crossed the finish line at the end of the race. I see you went after Jack instead. Since you never placed in Aeropolis, this could result in a disqualification. Oh no! How could they possibly compete if Rick shouldn't race anymore? However, since you were able to stop Jack from destroying the other pilots, there were no casualties. Thus, you would still be eligible for the next competition. Thanks, Commissioner. Rick, you and Tinsel are the last of the mobile task force. It's crucial that we should stop Dark Million from gaining the profits. You two must find the rest of the group and bring them home safely. Our lives depend on it. That's your mission for both of you. Understood? Yes, sir. He gave her a handshake. Great to finally meet you, Tinsel. Seems you're not much of a novice after all. Keep up the good work. You got it. A short time later, Rick, Tinsel, and Drac participated in another Grand Prix course. Leon was one of the spectators watching from the stands. He really wanted to see the trio succeed and reverse Dark Million's effect over another particular member of the team, while Jack was still stuck in his body casts. Their opponents identified by Clank were Lucy as well as the most nefarious toadies Black Shadow ever conceived, Blood Falcon, was undoubtedly the most lethal foe they'd faced in the Elegance Liberty, or rather the Pallid Pony was a paperweight by comparison. According to the info, just before the competition, the altered vehicle had a phenomenal grip and a formidable body. The only change was her boost stat, which was actually higher than the Astro Robin's by just 1 level. The exterior was also completely different, as the Pallid Pony had an appearance as white as an apparition with the ashen plates. It was skinnier and more lightweight, hence the speed improvement and sharp handling. With Tinsel leading the pack during the final lap, she was the first to see the newbie's striking uniform. She wore black shoulder pads with a blanche outfit. Her hair was also as dark as her tainted soul, plus heavy opaque lipstick and eyeshadow was smeared causing her to have a more gothic approach. The enemy machine, the Bloodhawk, or otherwise known as the Hellhawk, which preferably I like better, was also analyzed. Blah blah, the BS group, housing underground races during suspension. I'm sure you guys already know from X and GX. Although, I wish GX was never a copy-paste from X, as you would notice in the profiles. Took me several years to figure that out. Silver Comet kept ramming into the pallid pony, and they were on a pushing match to see who was stronger. "Let's hope your luck will run out, Lucy." They had a tough battle as the Bloodhawk kept gaining on them, smashed into her without any relent, and Lucy just glared and sped off. "Ah! The Hellhawk is so damn strong!" "Hang on!" "Tinsel, turn against the Bloodhawk as much as you can." She blushed as he kept turning left. Rick did the opposite, not allowing the hawk to attack nor boost. However, he managed to make a few minimal nudges to escape. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now! As the detective gave the signal, they both accelerated, leaving Blood vulnerable. He actually fastened and steered so much that he fell off the course and obliterated right after the scrimmage. Yahoo! We did it! But Lucy... She's too fast. I'm falling behind. Damn, I can't catch up. We're nearing the finish line now. Leave that to me. Drac, I need your help dealing with Lucy. On my way. Blah, blah, blah. They had the highest acceleration. It was just enough, though, they had to watch their stamina as they both had a C rank. Drac distracted Lucy with a crash, though she was better as she bashed him. Since he had bad handling, he slipped away and lagged behind, but Tinsel finished the job as he caught her off guard with a side attack, making her spin out and collide with the other fellow contenders. They raced each other before they crossed the finish line. Rick was first, Tinsel second, and Drac third. As usual, the colossal creature was bummed out. An amazing comeback from Rick Wheeler! This has been a long time since we've seen him achieve victory on the F-Zero circuit, and the rookie Tinsel Steelus isn't too far behind. The mighty Typhoon had difficult struggle with the Pallid Pony, yet Drac managed to end up taking the bronze position. What a great team effort for the awesome trio! Hey, don't feel bad. There's always next time. Yeah, besides, this is our victory. We won this together. We wouldn't have done it without you. We really appreciate your help for keeping Lucy busy. He gave a slight smile to the two humans. And so he, she, and Rick all raised the trophy. Just before the medics towed the injured pilot and her machine away, Tinsel applied the syringe when they got to the demolition while Rick showed her a vein in the neck. When she was under, the team got her old uniform, and Rodney and his assistants gave Lucy back her natural look. Plank said that he'd easily restore the Palapony to its original settings as the Elegant's Liberty. I actually like that idea because it, represents Statue of Liberty. Jack? Rick? Tinsel? Leon! She beamed as she saw him panting heavily. The moment she said his name, he licked her happily and his tail was wagging rapidly. He was the most grateful to see her as her normal self again, no longer hiding his great feelings of affection for her. Hey! Whose partner are you anyway? He immediately returned to Lucy, who was laughing the whole way. It's only natural, Tinsel. Besides, Leon hasn't seen Lucy over the past few months. He mentioned he first saw him as a busboy at the Falcon House, and he somehow had a crush on Lucy. He admitted once that he was afraid to show it, until now. Looks like you got yourself a fanboy, don't you, Lucy? Oh, Jack, you're too much. Hey, what happened to you? Her friends described the last race in Aeropolis. She was alarmed that Dark Million was able to take advantage over the task force. That means Clash is there too. We gotta help them. Easy, Lucy. Easy, Lucy. You just woke up. We'll see what we can do. We've already gotten this far. You just concentrate on resting for a while, champ. Leave this up to us. Feels like such a long time since we were last together, Rick. I'm so glad that we are together again. Indeed it has. Don't worry, Princess. I'll be back in action. You'll see. With a smile she counted on them, and Leon gave her another smooch before they left. Back at headquarters, Rick mentioned Tinsel seeing Blood Falcon while saving Jody from an abandoned warehouse in Port Town. Recently, when the task force split due to a misunderstanding as he shapeshifted to each member, spreading lies and chaos, he informed her that they only managed to wipe out one of the clones. One? Are you saying there are more Blood Falcon clones? He remembered while he was in Darkstar there was a secret lab, but he never entered it. It's likely Stewart has. There was a restricted area just next to the main chamber with all those toxic tanks. I swear it. I'll destroy that laboratory as soon as we save him. There could be thousands of them roaming the galaxy. It's unlikely Black Shadow would use them. Unless if there's a race involved. They're expendable. I hope Clank and Leon can help track them down. I'm certain Dr. Clash and the AD would reconstruct many Hellhawks. But could it be from the skull? Or Dr. Stewart? Only time can tell, which was something she and Rick thought they don't have much of. So, you just heard Cinnabaz. I'm gonna take a gamble and pick a track from the original Top Gear. In my eyes, I find this game to be incredibly annoying with the numerous pit stops where you constantly have to refuel, as well as use about 3 ineffective nitros. The AI just rubber bands so much. Anyway, my point is, I decided to go with track 4, or as I call it, San Francisco track, as this song first plays here on the second course. And, well, it kind of reminds me of Rick again. I'm a huge fangirl of Rick Wheeler, in case you can't tell. Alright, scenario for flashback, which if you would see cold as ice, you would know. Never had the chance to play the Diamond Cup until I found out from Ephraim's LP, and I gotta say, it is one of the best. He actually used Don Genie's Fat Shark. No joke. I recommend you should check it out. Little did I know that Blood Falcon was introduced in X as an unlockable character for the captain's alternate outfit. I thought for the longest time he wasn't introduced until GX, but I guess it makes sense because of the huge accident. And I realized that the course was never mentioned if Eco was the rumor, because in X Cup the courses are randomized. No wonder Smash Bros. Got the idea to incorporate Falcon and give him the clone's appearance, since it was released 1 year later! Damn! It's just so interesting that the Elegance Liberty is remarkably similar to the Astro Robin, albeit has a better speed boost. Actually, the Pallid Pony was inspiration from Sleepy Hollow, specifically the Horseman of Death, because of its placid look. So, it almost looks similar to a Poltergeist, and it's almost like a mix between the Death Reaper and Getsis from Pokemon Black and White. That's where I got the inspiration from. So, Clash will be up next, and are the rumors true about Dark Million producing multiple clones of Blood Falcon? Good luck, Task Force. So that's it. That's lap 8 for you. Next time, we go up against Dr. Clash, and hopefully they will get rid of all those clones of Blood Falcon. Until then, this is Tinsel, and This is Econ Rider signing out. And I leave you with this song. This should be like Rick's theme. Take care, guys.